Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This will be the fourth war of the season. I am going back and kind of reliving some of these wars. I have all the footage. So they're going to be coming out kind of out of order and just sort of as I see fit if there's anything interesting. This is another big Spider-Man 2099 war, and I'm finding a lot of these wars that I'm taking are like mostly Spider-Man 2099, but then, you know, maybe there's one or two nodes that I get to bring a third champ for, and that was this first node here. Now, you do have to worry about a couple things. Obviously, it's Havok unto himself, and with Havok, you know, you do want to have that armor up buff just for the absolute safety. Additionally, every 10 hits, he's going to get an armor, and when he gets an armor, there's a chance for us to get shocked because this is path 3. Now, I have the energy resistance pre-fight, which is basically converting my armor rating at any given moment in the fight into energy resistance. So I'm actually willpower healing enough off of these shocks that they're doing no damage. So, and then by the time we get a couple of these plasma debuffs on us, we are just going to be full yellow barring this fight. I was pretty happy with this assignment. Obviously, I think like Ultron or Warlock would still be able to do fine, but this one just felt really safe to me. The armor is not going anywhere. We have the armor break off of the special 2. I'm just going to be spamming my special 1s at this point because that has the guaranteed 5 ruptures and the suppression debuffs. The suppressions will remove prowess on top of it, which, you know, isn't the end of the world, but like it is an ability to note that it will remove these prowess. You'll see right here. We get the ruptures, we remove the prowess, we get the suppression. It just fully counters this node. It's something I'm kind of proud of thinking of this assignment because, man, War Machine is so tanky. He finishes with 100% health. Like, couldn't imagine that going any better. And, you know, not necessarily a problem node, but it is just nice to see like such a perfect counter. What a cool rework for War Machine for sure. And then now I have him, if I need to drop off any pre-fights for anybody, he is available, which is pretty nice. So next up, we did not see Man-Thing on the normal placement. He seems to always be on node 20 these days. They put him on 26. And, you know, Spider-Man 2099 is known for taking champs like Sasquatch or Mangog here. And there's really no difference between that and Man-Thing. In fact, Man-Thing might be a little bit easier because his AI tends to do this thing where he only dashes forward with one medium and then he backs off, which means it's a little bit easier to do the Spider-Man 2099 style. See there, he doesn't do 2 hits. He does like 1 and then he backs off. So all we need to do here is keep our wither up. Right there, accidentally took a blocked hit. So now we have to deal with this disorient, and we can't heal off the disorient. So just in general, trying to avoid the blocked hits. But yeah, you may be wondering if you don't know how Man-Thing works. You're like, well, wait a minute. How are you not getting poisoned? How are you not getting armor broken? Well, those abilities of Man-Thing are all based off of buffs that he will be putting on you, his pustules, and then through contact, those pustules can get nullified and turned into poison. So if you cannot proc buffs in the first place, which is in Spider-Man 2099's kit, as well as anybody that has Defiance Tactic that is not named Miguel O'Hara, those will work. And then basically all of his abilities are turned off that are dangerous, as well as Mystic Dispersion, the Tactic, and Mystic Dispersion, the Mastery. So as long as you don't take too many blocked hits or get stun reflected, you are good to go there. So like the last war, we're going to be going on to path 7. I had an unfortunate death here last war against Domino on 43. So we're going to see if the placements that they made are going to give any trouble to Spider-Man 2099, or if the anti-venom synergy is going to be able to shut these down and make it no issue at all. So Mysterio is one of the Mystic Dispersion defenders. He's one of the only ones that is not a Mystic himself. So Spider-Man 2099 will be turning off Spite, All Fight. As long as we keep our Wither up, he will also be turning off Rise to Power. So at that point, if we just need to worry about Mysterio himself, who is a little annoying, mostly because of, just him being with the weird AI, and that all of his specials have effects that are really annoying. So right there, when we knock him down and we take a blocked hit after, it will actually reduce the power that he gains off of Rise to Power. So that's why we don't have to worry about that at all. We mostly bait that special one, took a couple blocked hits, and now we're not going to hit him while he has the reflection gas on. But yeah, the one advantage that Spider-Man has here that other champs don't is that, again, the Rise to Power is completely reversed. So if we take any hits to the block or any hits that, it will not be giving him sort of like kinetic transference style power. Now right here, I actually did push him to the special 2 on purpose. And the point of that is because I want him to throw it and to put this power lock debuff on me, or the power drain debuff on me, which is actually going to heal me up a little bit. It's a little pro strat to save some potions. I knew that he was almost dead from just the ruptures as it was, throwing heavies into the wind as he normally does. We're about to lose our Wither, but it is enough for him to go down off of those ruptures, and we did heal a little bit off of that power drain, so not a bad strategy at all. Also, just know that when Spider-Verse heroes knock him down, it cracks his helmet, which reduces some of his annoying abilities as well if we were to get hit and things like that. So yeah, overall, just a really, really good counter. And now here we go with this node again. I mean, Aspect of Evolution, always a little annoying, even if you're named Spider-Man 2099. And the name of the game is the same as always. We're going to try to stack our withers. We're going to try to hit his block. We're going to try to dex, do most of our damage through ruptures, not allow him to gain power off of kinetic transference. He's being very passive, so we're seeing some of the annoying things that can stop Spider-Man 2099 is like if they're not going to allow you to get your dexes in, your wither could very easily fall off. So at this point, I'm kind of willing to let it fall off because I don't want to do anything dumb, basically. And, Hood has such an easy special 1 to bait, and he's usually programmed to throw that thing pretty often. So even though we don't have the Wither, we can pretty easily play him without making contact. And we're already pretty close to our special 2 so that we can get off another Wither. So yeah, nothing too dangerous here. I mean, Hood is annoying if you don't have, Defiance or Spider-Man 2099, because he does have the tactic. He has a pretty annoying special 2 that's hard to dex, and it makes him invisible after. But there's no real risk of that happening in this fight, especially as long as we have a Wither up. Kinetic transference is going to be off. You'll notice the Aspect of Evolution is starting to come into play a little bit, just meaning like we're not going to be critting as much. His combat power rate is going to go up. He's going to be hitting harder. He's going to have more armor. So, this fight, any fight with Aspect of Evolution, you really need to respect the fight because it can get out of control, even if it's an easy defender. But right there, no issues at all, and he ends up going down. So now we're going to do the 1-2 punch combo that is so common for Spider-Man 2099, but I'm not sure if we've seen this on the channel this season yet. But I've certainly taken both of these fights before, and it is good, I guess, just for the archival nature of this channel to have everything preserved to make sure that we get some of these 54 Mangog and these Sasquatch bosses down. For posterity, it will always be on our channel. So I think this might have been the one where something funny happened. We'll see pretty soon. So I want to make sure that I get my second Wither up, because the second Wither is going to basically make him start reversing. You'll see there, like he basically has like 200% ability power on this node. And when we have 2 Withers, it brings it down to like 250% reduction. And then the exhaustions, I think, are another 15% each. So all is good. I guess this isn't the one. There was one of these in a different war where I actually got smacked by the special one, and it did like no damage. It was really hilarious because like he really is such a noodle off of his basic hits and his special one. It's like really just that enhanced special 2 that is the thing that can completely destroy you on this node, and it's pretty easy to completely bypass that from happening. So yeah, we're pretty much reversing the power, so that's a good thing. And then right there, the rupture burst gets him down. So I think actually the way the math works is he has 300% ability power rate, so we're not completely reducing it down to 0 if we only have 2 withers, but it's certainly enough to make it like not a problem at all. So anyway, now we're going to change our masteries around. Sasquatch is a pretty chunky lad, and he obviously has the healing and, you know, just the most HP in the game, I think. So we are going to turn on Recoil Tree because of the way that Spider-Man 2099 bypasses the boss node because of the True Strike passive on it. We're just not going to be able to take any damage from any source pretty much. And, you know, we might as well take advantage of having these poison debuff on us for the entire fight, which is actually going to heal us up because it's not going to do enough damage to put us into the red. And just having the extra damage for a boss node just makes it a little bit safer. So the key with Sasquatch boss, if you haven't ever seen me take it, is you do want to land a heavy attack pretty early on. That's something to practice. It's not always perfect spacing off of baiting one of his heavies. You do need to know when it's safe and when it's not safe. That time it was safe. Usually if he like hits your block a couple times and then throws it, you can always connect your heavy. One of the nicest things about Spider-Man 2099 is the reach of his heavy, and also that it's a single hit heavy. It's very, very easy to punish like that, and in a lot of matchups it's pretty important, especially if there's stun immunity. But why did we need to connect a heavy? Well, it's because of that exhaustion debuff. And yes, exhaustion reduces ability power rate slightly, and it reduces their critical damage rating. But more importantly, it basically turns off one of the most annoying abilities of Sasquatch, which is his Wrath of Tanarak. As long as this exhaustion stays up, then he's not going to be gaining his Wrath charges, and he's never going to go into Wrath. Now, even if he goes into Wrath, we know how to deal with it. It's something that I practiced. But man, it's just so much easier if you don't have to deal with it at all. So yeah, the name of the game is pretty much the same as it's been all season, which is Dex. Hit him a couple times. Don't get hit by a blocked hit on that special one, because that will obviously mess us up a little bit. That could potentially stun us through the block. But yeah, just keep these ruptures up, hit his block, let the ruptures do their damage, let the rupture burst do their damage. Right there, we had a very safe heavy counter. I was just noticing that my exhaustion was getting a little low, so I figured why not put another one on him. And, you know, he's just ticking away. Pretty soon his regen is going to come up, but the thing is we have the Despair Mastery, and there's just enough of these buffs on him that the regen's not even going to matter. And actually, I don't see any regen proccing anyway, so not sure why that happened. But either way, completely turns off Sasquatch. No issues there. Definitely the safest counter. We've used Immortal Abomination as well when we had a ban of Spider-Man 2099, but overall I just really like that matchup, and like I said, it's good to get some of those on the channel, even though these wars do get a little repetitive with the style of using Spider-Man 2099. It is good to get the archival copy. So that's going to do it for this war. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be getting a few more of these out as the weeks go on and as we wrap up the season. It's definitely been an interesting one, especially with the new BG and with being the lead planner. But I'm definitely feeling the crunch of doing all the officer stuff, actually doing my fights, and finding time for YouTube. So sorry about the delay, but I appreciate the viewership and your audience and everything every time. So please like, subscribe, share. I always appreciate that type of support, and we'll see you in the next one.